Welcome to Booze and Glues, a justifiable excuse for two friends to spend time together, cross crafts off their to-do list, and, of course, drink. With glue guns and wine glasses at the ready, join Jessye Shepherd and Tabitha Davis as they attempt to simultaneously chat, craft, chug and charm. Will they consume alcohol? Definitely. Will they actually accomplish anything? Debatably. Will they bitch and complain? Inevitably. Will it be a bloody good time? Absolutely. And if things don't turn out just as planned, well, that's okay too. Because booze.
Hi everyone and welcome
to Booze and Glues. I'm Jessye.
And I'm Tabitha. We're drinking some wine. We're working on some handcrafted Christmas ornaments tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We've got two kind of different things going on.
Yes, different is the operative word.
Very different, but good.
Jessye has got some really cute, crafty, shabby chic. Is that where kind of
Sure, yeah.
ideas going? And I am doing a Nightmare Before Christmas theme this year. So I'm making lovely Jack Skellington ornaments.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fun. So we're going to work on that. We're going to drink wine. We're going with the Cupcake Black Forest tonight.
It's pretty good. I haven't had it before, but I like it.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not as great as the stuff from
From England. From Italy.
Italy. I almost said Ireland, and I was like, why would she bring me wine from Ireland?
Yeah, that's not something you hear all the time.
No, I would
Irish
expect
wine.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Irish wine. That's just whiskey.
It doesn't even sound good.
I don't even think that's a thing.
And there's got to be a winery or two.
Really? Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I don't know. It's kind of wet.
It's really, dark and wet.
Does
Damp,
it work?
Dank.
Can you make wine when it's not wet?
Will grapes grow without enough sun and that much moisture?
I don't know.
I'm just picturing, soggy, gross grapes. Somebody in Ireland has a winery and is like, you guys can F right off. Oh, well.
Lots of people buy our wine.
Irish wine. I'm going to have to Google that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my first ornament, I'm just going to pop open this box and I'm going to pull out these little ornaments. And then I'm going to just put little Jack Skellington heads in the center, which I think will be cute. They're little, charcoaly silver snowflakes.
Yeah. And then I've got these little round bulb ornaments. They're plastic that I bought at Michael's, and they kind of look like a little Christmas light. What do you call this part of a light bulb?
The screwy end part?
The screwy end part. It has that on the top instead of, the normal.
But they're circular. They're, round. They're not, Christmas, old-fashioned Christmas light shape. They're really cute.
They're cute. And then I'm going to take a little strip of paper and write a Christmas lyric on it, roll it up, and stick it inside.
And luckily you already have adorable handwriting.
Well,
I do not.
We'll see how it goes.
Every time I try to write cute, I'm like, why do I even bother?
Well, the nice thing about this is you're not really going to be, reading it. I think it's mostly the idea.
Yeah, I think that'll work, okay?
Yeah, that's cute.
I just popped out, a little head. Maybe I'll put one on each side, and then I can draw, a happy face and a grumpy face.
That's nice.
Jack has several sides. I wore my Jack Skellington socks tonight to commemorate the evening.
What I didn't think about is, do I know enough Christmas lyrics?
Oh, that's what Google's for.
Right? Because I'm just the biggest fan of Christmas and Christmas music.
Do you know how to work the Google button on the internet machine?
I wait at least until December to listen to any Christmas music because
Well, you're missing out.
I just can't be bothered.
I started on the 15th officially and might have snuck a couple in on the 13th.
Well, and my favorite Christmas album is by
NSYNC.
Well, I do love the NSYNC Christmas album, but no, it's by August Burns Red, and it's all instrumental, so I don't have to listen to Christmas words.
I need a copy of that.
It's wonderful, actually.
That sounds amazing.
So good. I'll have to get you a copy.
One of my favorite Christmas albums is punk rock one.
Yeah.
And it's so great, and not a lot of traditional Christmas songs, but I've listened to it for so long now that they're traditional Christmas songs to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. And then, like, the greatest thing is they have, like, a metal version of the 12 Days of Christmas, which is completely absurd. It's great.
Well,
so wonderful.
I think that's why I love that August Burns Red one. They're pretty heavy. Pretty heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
And so their stuff is really, like...
No, I like it.
It's so Christmassy and fun, but
then also has a little edge.
Yeah. A little darker side.
I like that. Now, me drawing Jack Skellington faces is going to be interesting because I'm not an artiste and I also am very critical.
Well, but he's not so complicated, really.
He's not very complicated and he's not very symmetrical. This is going to be the smiley face side. Smilier face side. It's hard to not make him look too alien. You have to make him look skeleton, you know?
Yeah.
Like, not to get his eyes too pointy, and then he just looks like one of those super great classic 1950s. These spacemen came out of a flying saucer.
Speaking of aliens,
ooh,
we watched our first episode of Stranger Things last night.
Oh, I love that show.
I was like scared.
Were you freaking out?
I didn't know it was scary.
Oh, well, it's called Stranger Things.
Well, you could be funny and be strange.
I guess so. I thought that show was amazing. I mean, granted, it's not like that's a unique opinion. Everybody thought that show was amazing.
Well, we were watching it last night, and so we've lived in our apartment for like a year and a half. The girls above us have lived there for a majority of that. Mm-hmm. And like the last couple months especially, we keep hearing like, it just sounds like she's banging on the ground. It's like 3 bangs or 4 bangs. And we just kept thinking, like, what the heck is she doing up there? You know, and Blake's even gone up there to, like, ask, and she didn't answer the door. But last night it happened again, and Blake was like, I'm going up there. And he goes up there, and she was like, I'm effing sick and tired of your guys' bass going all night long. Which, sometimes we watch an episode of something before we fall asleep.
Right.
Which, and granted, yeah, we have a sound bar that has a bass thing, but it's not like my walls are rattling. Which, bass is weird, so apparently it was like traveling up into her room. But she never said anything.
She was just banging on the floor to get you to shut up?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so then Blake went up there and she like yelled at him, I'm freaking sick and tired of it. It happens all, and granted, she's like a couple years younger than us.
Okay. But so it's not like she's an old lady and...
Right.
Like, yeah, she's probably not going to bed at 8 o'clock.
Right. So, yeah. And Blake and I don't even stay up that late. But, yeah, so Blake was like, well, you know, you could have said something. Like, we didn't know.
Right.
But, so she was real mad at us. But, so that was how Stranger Things went. It got interrupted in the middle when Blake went and knocked on the neighbor's door. I should start writing.
This is working out okay.
I'm starting with a Reliant K song that is in... 0 amounts of ways traditional. It's like one of their own things.
It's a Christmas song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I haven't heard this either. I feel like you could introduce me to so many great things. I'm gonna have to broaden I need some new Christmas music, actually. I feel like you could broaden my Christmas horizons.
I can make you some Christmas CDs.
That would be like the highlight of my year, and I'm not even kidding.
Because I'm giving you new Christmas music or because I'm being Christmassy?
Both. Mostly because I'm getting new Christmas music. I love Christmas music. But I also, anytime I can drag you into the Christmas spirit, kicking and screaming, though it may be, I'm all about it.
Did you figure out what y'all are doing for your tree?
Oh, yeah. So my grandparents often will cut down trees for my parents. And I used to go up with them and, like, I would cut greens, my Grandma Linda, because she makes Christmas wreaths, which I believe we discussed.
I get mine on Wednesday.
Nice. Yes, she's bringing all of ours down. So this year, we didn't make it up or anything, like I was kind of wanting to, but they ended up cutting a tree down for my brother, who then decided they didn't want it. They wanted to get a different type of tree. So I was like, hey, I hear you have an extra tree. And so it's a silver tip, which Adam's never had, so that'll be kind of fun.
Oh.
I grew up with silver tips, so they aren't like the most exciting thing in the world to me. In fact, I think because I grew up with silver tips, I always want a more bushy tree.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty sparse, but
They're very sparse.
I was kind of thinking that, considering my theme this year...
Yeah, you can really show it off.
Yeah, and I feel like it will not being the traditional bushy Christmas tree will give it a little something.
Yeah.
I think that in the movie there's actually like a little Christmas tree that's kind of bare and broken when Sally has a vision, so I'm like, oh, I can kind of go with that theme.
Yeah, that's fun. So I had decided that I wanted a fake tree.
I had too, but that didn't pan out this year.
Yeah, well, and Blake is just real against it. He was like, it's not going to smell like a tree. And I'm like,
you can buy those little sticks.
That's what I said. I'm like, we could buy tree smell. And he's like, we just can't do that. It's like, not Christmas, blah, blah, blah. And so finally I was like, fine, I'll compromise. We can buy a tree at a lot. I don't want to go cut one down, but we can buy one at a lot. And then, like,
although we had a lot of fun last year.
We did have a lot of fun. But, and then, so right when I told him that, I'm like, I'm going to just leave it up to you, because I don't really care either way. And I knew if I said I'll leave it up to you, he said, let's buy a tree off a lot.
Right.
And he's like, why up to me? We can buy a fake tree. I was like, God, why do we compromise at the same exact time? So now we're arguing about who gets to be the nice one and let the other person have what they want.
Well, I mean, so if you get a real tree this year, it's not like you can't get a fake tree next year.
I know. What?
They have them in the store every year.
Right. Well, and that's what he told me. He's like, we can try a fake tree this year. I'm like, no, you...
You don't try a fake tree. You get a fake tree and then that's that. Because why go spend $70 on another Christmas tree at a lot when you already have a tree? Well, and honestly, like...
Are they $70 at a lot?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, easily.
Okay, if we get there and it's that much money, I'm going to say we're buying a fake tree.
Okay, well, that also has to do with the fact that I want a tree that's like 12 feet tall. So that's part of the issue. And honestly, that's part of the issue with getting a fake tree, is that I want a fake tree that's 12 feet tall. So it's $600.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't quite justify it. I mean, I keep thinking like, well, in 6 years, because actually I think last year we spent $90 on our tree. No, last year we cut our tree.
Oh, yeah,
the year before that, I think we spent $90. So, yeah, I keep trying to, like, rationalize it to myself. Like, in a few years, it'll be paid for,
Yeah.
But it just seems outrageous, so I haven't done it.
Yeah, it's hard to spend all at one time, even though it's still cheaper in the long run.
Right. And honestly, I always thought I would never have a fake tree. I grew up in a family full of foresters and loggers, and I always lived up in the woods where I thought I could just, it was easy to go.
Trees are in your backyard.
Yeah, you just drive out a few minutes, you're on Forest Service land, you got your permit, go cut a tree down. It's, not...
What is it, $15 or something?
Yeah, I bought them last year. I think they might have been 20.
Oh.
Maybe they were 10. Maybe it was 20 for both of them. I don't remember. Yeah, not expensive at all. It's the, trek of doing it. When you're nearby, it's not a big deal. For us, it was, a little bit of a drive.
It was a deal.
It was definitely a deal.
Especially when you find out that your dad's truck isn't 4-wheel drive like you thought it was when you're stuck in the snow already.
At the last moment. And then... He just wasn't, why would I have a 4-wheel drive truck?
He's always had a 4-wheel drive. That's why I'm, so confused.
It's like, okay.
Why would you have that big of a truck if it's not going to be able to tow nothing?
Yeah, I always have felt like that, just having a truck in general. I'm like, there's no reason to have one if it's not 4-wheel drive. Although, I remember, when I was in college, we were down here, and we had a little 2-wheel drive truck that we would use to, take motorcycles places to go riding. It was convenient for that, but probably not ultimately worth it because you can't drive it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think it would be nice to have a fake tree just because it's kind of done, especially with the lights on it already and everything.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. pull it out of the box, you know? Anyway, what's going on with you, Jessye?
This morning, I went to put on this skirt that usually is I'm a little heavier skirt, and it doesn't quite stay on when I'm smaller. So it's like my
comfy skirt.
Yeah. I couldn't zip it.
Oh, that's my life. Like, every day right now.
It's bad because I keep so many clothes that are like my skinny clothes that I don't want to get rid of. Yeah. But when your fat clothes are still too small, that's when life is really dragging.
Oh, I done grew out of my fat clothes.
Me and one of my bosses, we keep talking like we need to get each other motivated, and man, I just keep gaining weight and blah blah blah. And he's like, one of these days I'm gonna decide that I don't want to keep gaining weight.
Right. Oh, I've already decided that I don't want to keep gaining weight. My body hasn't like caught up to that decision.
Well, not my drive. What am I trying to, like, my
motivation?
Yeah, my motivation hasn't caught up with my wants and desires. Did you know Michael's has like a rewards program now, like a membership program?
No.
Yeah. I mean, really, I don't know the benefits of it yet. You know, they're like gonna send you coupons or whatever, but I'm like, it's really easy to find the coupons.
Yeah, I'm like, I have an app and I get mail and emails, etc.
But it was free, so I was like, whatever, sign me up for the membership program. They like had me do this little quiz when I signed into my online profile, and it was like, how often do you, like, do crafts? And I was like, oh my gosh, I can say once a week.
And then the government's collecting information in the background. For the paranoid person.
I know. Well, and it's funny because I'm really not normally like that. Because, like I said, you can get on my phone. It's not really like I have anything on there.
Well, I honestly am a total conspiracy theorist, but then I also just don't care. Like, I fully think, like, oh yeah, the government's tracking me. But I'm also like, well, what are you gonna do?
Right. Well, that's why I'm like, okay, they can track me. I'm not like hiding anything.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm a big threat or I'm doing anything that's gonna be a real problem.
Unless they're recording me and then we run for president someday and they're gonna tell us all the bad stuff we've ever said about anybody. And
oh yeah, I really do want to run for president, but I don't think it's gonna be the recordings that get me in trouble. It's gonna be like all the pictures of me out on the internet. Someone's gonna have to steal some phones and files. I'm gonna have to pull a Hillary Clinton.
I just didn't see any reason to keep those. It's not that I was trying to hide anything. I just was cleaning up.
Yeah. I just had to track down a few people and smash their phones too. Just clean it up.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Ooh, that's hard to say. I love songs about the meaning of Christmas and Jesus and stuff. Like, those always make me happy.
Yeah.
But I also really like Let It Snow. That's one of my favorites. Oh, Baby, It's Cold Outside.
Oh,
I'm just going to start naming off every single Christmas
I know, I was going to say, I don't think this is a good question to ask you.
No, I'm going to be like, oh, and this one, and that one. I like so much Christmas music, it's hard to say. But I really do love Baby It's Cold Outside. It's really cute because it's a cute little duet song.
It always reminds me of Elf.
Yeah, well, my favorite movie for sure.
It is a great movie.
And
it's got to be one, if not the best, like top 5 Christmas movies of all lifetimes.
It's pretty awesome. Actually, I went and saw the Elf musical last year with my friend Callie. She took me for my birthday. And it was really fun. It was so cute. I loved it. Yeah, I do love Let It Snow because it's the same idea of kind of Baby It's Cold Outside. It's like, let's just stay inside by the fire and cuddle and drink cocoa and enjoy each other's company kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
See, the problem that I have with songs like Let It Snow is I've never lived anywhere where it even, like, remotely snowed in the winter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's not Christmas.
Oh, yeah. So I grew up in the snow. So it's totally Christmas to me. And every once in a while, I just miss it so bad. I think, why did I move away? But most of the time, I think, gosh, you don't have to shovel rain.
That's true.
Which is amazing.
It snowed like a handful of times. It mostly hails if it's anything remotely white, but
I've been in Chico a couple times when it snowed.
There was one day I was in junior high and it snowed. So, I mean, we're talking 15 years ago.
I think I was in college.
My teacher, we were all looking out the window and he got real mad. He's like, "We're learning history." And I was like, "This is history."
It's snowing in Chico.
But he didn't like that excuse.
He didn't think that was very funny, I bet.
Nope.
I like a teacher with a good sense of humor.
Well, and he did.
Nice.
For some reason that day, I think he was in a bad mood or something.
Yeah, he was thinking, I'm going to have to go home and shovel this.
That could be it.
That's what the Frosty the Snowman movies, like, all the grown-ups and the teachers and everyone are all pissy about shoveling snow all the time. And all the kids are like, woohoo, snow day! And then the grown-ups are like, I gotta shovel.
Yeah.
Which is the truth. When I was a child, snow was the greatest thing ever because it meant absolutely nothing to me. Like, except I'm going to go play in this until I'm cold and then I'll come inside.
Right.
You know, there wasn't any work involved with it. I mean, it's a lot of work to build, like, snow castles and forts.
But it's fun work.
Yeah. But it's not obligatory.
Yeah. Now, see, I went through this stage where I, like, decided that cold was my greatest enemy or something. So every time the family would go up to cut down Christmas trees, I would, like, refuse to get out of the car. And I would just sit in there and be, like, grumpy the whole time and be like, "This is the worst trip ever. It's so cold." And it just would have the not fun.
So basically, you were a teenage girl.
Yes.
Been there.
And I look back and I'm like, why couldn't I just have gone out and built a freaking
Sucked it
snowman?
Had a good time because life's too short. Because when you're a teenager, you don't think like that.
Yeah.
You think
Well,
you have infinite
right.
snow trips to bitch about.
Well, and even at the time, I would would convince everybody, like, I'm having way more fun in here than I would ever be having out there with my hot cocoa.
That reminds me of when I was a kid, my dad was on the ski patrol. So, and I say, so we had to go skiing every weekend. And I mean, we had to. Everyone's like, oh, wow, poor life. And I'm like, no, you don't understand.
It's not fun when you have to do something.
We were like out there all day Saturday, all day Sunday, because he only did it on the weekends.
Yeah.
And so, like, those were his shifts. And we were out there all day long.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, and I was, a preteen-ish age. I liked to go a few runs, and then I was done with that, and I wanted to just, like, sit in the car and read a book. And I just remember, like, getting in trouble for reading. Like, get out here and do something. It was pretty interesting, but it didn't... I went through the same thing. I was just like, no, there is nothing about this that is enjoyable. I'm way more happy just sitting here pouting.
Well, and now, do you ever go, like, snowboarding or skiing now?
No. Actually, I have absolutely no desire to. I think because of that.
Yeah.
Now, I loved snowmobiling, like, as an adult and everything. That was great. It was super fun. And, even going sledding as an adult, and I have, mental block. I just don't want to ski in any way, shape, or form.
Well, see, I don't, because when it was 6th grade, and...
A couple years ago.
And it was my first, I was so super stoked because our family was going to Tahoe and we went snowboarding. My mom skied and me and my dad and my brother learned how to snowboard. It was my second time down the bunny slope and I fell and I broke my arm.
Oh no. So you're just getting going, woo, this is great. No, it's not.
And my mom says my memories are exaggerated, but I don't think so. She doesn't know. She was off skiing another mountain.
Somewhere else.
But, so, I fell. Me and my dad were going down, and my brother were going down together. I fell, and I was like, I'm really hurt. And my dad was like, you'll be fine, and, kept going.
Yeah, no, classic dad.
Yep.
You're not bleeding. Get up.
And so I tried to get up, but I kept, blacking out, because I was, in so much pain. So I sat there for the longest time.
Right.
I felt like it was, an hour. But my mom said it was 5 minutes. I'm like, no, it wasn't not 5 minutes. Until finally, a ski patrol guy went up on because I was right under the
chairlift?
Yeah. And so finally a ski patrol guy like saw me. He's like, I'll be down there in a minute.
Aww.
And then I had to get ski-dooed down the mountain.
Oh, gosh. Well, see? There's no reason. I'm like, let's go trek around in a couple inches of snow with some Coco and have a little snowball fight. And then, like, that's good for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to be responsible for it later.
That's true.
I mean, Chester got one summer we got, actually, I have seen it snow in every single month up there.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, it snowed on the 3rd of July one year when I was about 13 or 14.
That's a lie.
No, it snowed on the 3rd of July, and there was still so much snow piled up, like, on, like, berms and corners from the snowplows that we just put our ice chest, we were out for the 4th of July parade, and we just shoved our ice chest into a snowbank and left it there to keep it cold. For real. Like, big fat snowflakes on the 3rd.
I don't think that's real.
It has snowed in August, like toward the end of August, and like, okay, we're starting winter now, because it would just start snowing, and then it would just be freezing, and that would be that from then on.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, it snowed in June and October, and so that, I mean, every month, snow.
That's ridiculous.
And everyone would be surprised. Like, can you believe this weather? And I'm like, yes, I can. Because the only thing I know about the weather up here is that you can't ever know anything about the weather.
Yeah.
It just does whatever it wants.
That's insane.
It's totally crazy. Yeah, one winter when I was about 8, we got 28 feet of snow over the winter. So we literally were sledding off of our roofs onto, I mean, it just would connect, you know, and jumping.
I feel like I would make your house an icebox.
Well, so the great thing is when you get so much snow all around your house, it insulates it.
Oh.
Like, packs it in, which is kind of cool. But we did have to shovel our roofs off. Everybody had to go shovel off because
it'll
they're
ruin it.
only made for so much snow load.
Right.
So, like, once you get over certain footage, it becomes unsafe, so you have to go get rid of that. Unless you have a metal or a tin roof, you know. And in which case, it just slides off and it buries your house with that much snow. Like, completely.
That's
insane. Some of the old cabins up there actually have doors on the 2nd floor and with no balcony or anything. And it's because they have metal roofs. And so the snow slides off, it stacks up, it gets so tall that you can't get out your front door anymore. And so you just use the top door in and out.
What?
Yeah. That's the thing that they actually did.
But isn't it like so fluffy you step out and your whole foot just goes...
Well, maybe like one day when you get a whole bunch in one day. And it has to be the certain right type of snow for it to be fluffy like that. Otherwise it packs down. And over time, like, it melts a little bit and freezes and it all settles and packs. And yeah, it's interesting. It's a whole nother world up there.
I know nothing about this.
It's a whole nother world.
You're teaching me new things.
Yeah, I actually that year got stuck in a snowbank, and when you're like, I was stuck on the mountain for an hour. I, like, had to be in by dark, and I was out by the road, which is not the smartest place to play, because if the snowplow comes by, like, potentially you could get snow piled on you or hit by it or whatever,
right.
You know, if you're in the berm. But I was up on, like, a tall corner of it where they weren't gonna come pile more snow, probably.
Yeah.
And I, like, kind of fell back behind it, and I got stuck, and my one leg, I could not get out. Like, it packed in there. And so I sat there until it turned dark, and my mom came out to look for me because I didn't come in when it was dark. And in my brain, because I was, like, probably 7 or 8, like, I remember thinking, like, I was stuck in the snowbank for hours. Just hours. And it was probably 15 minutes, right? You know, it was like... But, you know, when you're a child, time just seems infinite.
Yeah, it's different.
It is so different. I am becoming more and more stressed out as an adult by how fast everything's going by.
Holy moly.
Like, it started speeding up in my early 20s, and now it seems to be flying by at such a rapid pace that I can't even, like, get my bearings on anything.
Yeah. And
so I'm starting to think, like, maybe I should just start shopping for next Christmas, too. Because I'll blink, and it'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you...
I can't believe Thanksgiving is this weekend.
Yeah. How do you fit all the things in?
I try to do very little. That's what I do.
Oh, see, not me. I do everything and too much.
Well, and this year, oh my gosh, it was Saturday. I went to Target to buy a baby shower gift.
Hideous.
I'm like, why the hell is everybody already out here?
I went on the night of Halloween, maybe the next night, actually, and it was a complete freaking madhouse.
What happened to American procrastination?
I don't know. Well, some people are. That's why you really can't go.
Yeah, I just decided if I can't order your gift, you don't get anything.
No,
or if it's like at some random spot, like we might get. Oh, I shouldn't probably talk about Christmas gifts.
Well, who's gonna listen?
That's true. So, we might buy like a tattoo gift certificate.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
The tattoo parlor's not going to be packed because it's Christmas.
I don't know. Doesn't your family go get Christmas tats together? Is that just mine?
I think just yours. Because I got my one and it was like, never again.
That would be the most amazing Christmas tradition ever.
That would be cool.
Honestly, we've all grown up and we all have kids now. We just do, like, we do gifts for the kids.
Right.
Christmas is about the kids. And so we do all that. And then for the adults, we all just draw each, like, names.
Mm-hmm.
There's 8 of us,
right.
My parents and then all the siblings and spouses. So we draw names and everyone gets one person and they, get a gift for that person. Then everyone, gets something and you get to get something nice, because we have a higher dollar limit, versus if you're buying everyone a $20 present. So, but honestly, I don't know anyone in my family. I'm like thinking through. So my brother Andrew is the only one who doesn't have a tattoo, and he desperately wants one.
How does he not?
How is he in the
Marines and never got a tattoo?
I don't know. The Marines are not super big, or at least his like immediate administration wasn't super big on tattoos.
Because my cousin's a Marine and he's got millions of them.
Oh, and there were lots of them that did, but they really, like, his sergeants and stuff were really like, don't do that. So he kind of never got around to it, and he really wants to. He keeps talking about it, and he just hasn't ever quite gone and done it. How amazing would it be, instead of, like, we're drawing names, being like, we're having a tattoo party. Everybody go get a little tattoo. That would be so fun. And I feel like everyone in my family would be down.
I'm glad I'm not in your family, because I
This
say,
is the...
no!
This is the best idea ever. I'm gonna propose this.
Have you seen, it's been like a big, like, trend lately. People are doing their own hand-done ones.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that have done that or tried. I know people who have went and bought tattoo guns because they were like, I'm going to be the greatest. And then turns out it's not that easy. And then there's,
I'm just talking like needle with some thread on it.
Like dip and stick. Yeah. That's like old school. And a lot of people who are like real traditionalists with tattoo are like into that. I'm all about my tattoos being like artistic and pretty.
I know, yeah. I know a video I watched online, it was like a happy face, and it just looked...
so classy.
So classy.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I prefer, while many people might look at me and think, that chick's been in prison.
No.
Because people are judgy,
That's true.
And I mean, especially kind of like older generations will often ask me things like that. Like, if I have done prison time or if I was in the Navy... like, super random. I'm like, no, that's not a requirement anymore. But, I mean, I really tried to focus on getting, like, tattoos that were very well done.
Right.
And feminine.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to look like I have prison tats. So, having someone, like, draw a smiley face on me with a needle, I just, no.
I feel like maybe if I was, like, just really super into tattoos, I might just do one just for the experience.
Well, I mean, if your, like, whole body's covered and you sneak it in somewhere, that's not gonna matter.
Right. But otherwise, I wouldn't.
I mean, good on you if that's what they're into.
Right.
I have no problem with it, but it's not for me.
I tried to listen to another podcast.
Oh, yeah?
I just don't think I'm a podcast listener.
Really?
Yeah, I tried to listen. Well, also, I probably haven't listened.
You're probably picking the worst podcast.
Well, okay, Joe Rogan's hilarious.
Oh, yeah,
but
he's super
still,
great.
he doesn't really talk about things that, like,
Or
pertain to my life.
applicable to you, yeah.
And then the other one I watched, just because the fighter and the kid. Have you heard of that podcast?
Yeah.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I thought you were saying winter.
Winter. I'm trying to think of what it could be.
Chicken dinner. Because I forget to put T's in things a lot.
Oh.
People used to make fun of me all the time, like, when Clinton was president, because I would always be like, President Clinton. And they're like, who? And I'm like, President Clinton. And, like, I just don't say the T. I imply it, I guess. And so I thought you were being like, winner, winner. Like, and I was like, oh, cute. It's a fun winter saying. Nope. Now, what rhymes with winter?
Splinter.
Winter, winter, I got a splinter.
To winter.
Don't say something naughty.
Well, okay, actually, can I tell you a really funny story? So, for a really long time, it was like, it was a long time ago. It was like right when AOL Instant Messenger, like, was a thing, kind of. AIM.
Old school.
Yeah.
AOL Instant Messenger.
And I used to be like, I had this thing where people would say something and I didn't hear them. I'd be like, twat? Twat? And
little did you know you were saying twat.
Well, yeah, so it took me typing it. I was talking to a friend and he said something and I was like, twat? And he was like, you shouldn't type that. And he was like a little older than me. I met him through church camp. His name is TJ.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was saying, twat? And he was like, you shouldn't type that. And I was like, why? And he's like, you don't know what that means. And then, of course, I look it up. I need to stop saying that. Thank you for pointing that out. But, like, I don't think any of my friends knew what twat meant.
Probably not. And you weren't saying it like that. You were saying twat.
Yeah, but when you type it out, it just says twat.
Yeah. It does. I could see you doing, like, T apostrophe WHAT and getting what?
I did not do that, so.
TJ, I'm sure you're a good guy.
He's a great guy.
You're out there somewhere. Thanks for pointing Jessye in the right direction.
Yes, thank you, TJ. I brought Blake to Michael's with me because I was like, I'm going to make ornaments. Come help me pick something out.
Right, because they're going to be in your tree too.
Right.
And real or fake.
Yeah, he was like, I'll go do that with you. You know, I'm like, oh, cool. And then we get there, and he's just like, was not really being super helpful.
Yeah.
And I was like, Blake, the whole reason I brought you is because you said you were going to help. He was like, no, I plan to come for moral support. He said, so. And then he ended up...
a snarky, smart-ass answer.
Right?
But you kind of have to give him, like, props.
Well, I mean, probably not a lot of guys would even come for moral support to Michael's. So
Adam would. He's like that. He's super sweet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, and it helped. Adam probably would have been even more helpful in my case because these were, like, uber high. And so Blake had to, like, get, like, a thing of saran wrap and...
knock it down. So you guys did not go find someone to help you get things off the top shelf, as it specifically implies.
Okay, but have you ever tried to find somebody at Michael's?
No.
It's impossible.
Ridiculous, yeah.
And every time, the couple times that I've, like, found somebody and been like, oh, can you help me get something down? They act like...
They roll their eyes at you and act like...
Like, I've asked them to do the most awful thing that anybody's ever asked.
Yeah, they basically act like, well, now my day's ruined. So, thanks for that.
What the hell do you think I'm doing here?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you think I was here to help you or customer service or because
Right.
really, I'm just collecting a paycheck, people.
Right. What do you think I get paid for? I just wish it would fill in better.
Oh, on the eyeballs? Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out. I don't know, because it'll do it, like, along the edge, and it's fine, and then as soon as you go to, like, fill it in, it just wonks out.
We've said wonky a couple times tonight.
Is wonks a thing, though? Because I just said wonks.
Well, I think it's one of those words where it can be a thing if you want it to be.
Is it like ish? Because I can add ish to anything, and I think that is legit.
Well, it's really what I use when I'm like, this isn't really the right word, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Should we expand our vocabulary?
Maybe.
Like, I don't let Remy say hate because I don't like hearing the word hate come out of a child's mouth. It's just depressing.
Yeah.
There's enough of that in the world. And I've tried them with that whole, like, you guys, there's enough hate in the world. Let's not add to it. They don't seem to respond to that as well as when I say, okay, now you're just being lazy.
Come up with a better word.
Describe how you actually feel in a better way, because you guys can come up with something better than hate to describe what's going on. If you, really dislike something or you're not comfortable with something or whatever, like, use your vocabulary. I mean, those kids are smart enough. They read a ton. They know words. They can say something besides hate.
Yeah.
So that's actually been working better, is me saying, like, you're being lazy.
Yeah, that's a good exercise, I think.
Describe what is actually the problem here. Because then I think it gives the opportunity to, like, find a solution or a correction to it.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about it a little bit more, right?
Yeah, well, probably helps, like, the creativity a little bit, too, in a small way.
Yeah. And if you're saying, like, oh, I just hate this, versus, like, well, this is the particular thing that's a problem, well, that gives you, like, a particular thing that you can provide a solution to.
Yeah.
So, they seem to be doing well with that. And then I don't have to hear my sweet baby angels say hate.
Love it.
Which is so, so sad to hear.
Not so angelic when you're throwing around nasty words.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, out in the world, there's so much bad stuff and negativity and prejudice and everything else. I don't think we need to add to that.
Yeah.
What is the sweater called? The Christmas sweater print. There's a word for it. Okay, so you see it has the little flowers and the stripes.
I don't think I know the word you're trying to come up with, so.
Right there, that.
Well, I know what you're talking about, but I don't think I know the word for it. Have you ever seen my Norwegian sweater?
Mm-mm.
I can't wear it because it's Chico.
And it's not nearly cold enough.
But it's like
but
my friends.
You could wear it when we go play in the snow.
That's true, but I'm also like, I baby it because I don't want to ruin it.
Okay. I need to swee this Norwegian sweater.
But when I went to Norway with my friend in England with her family, her grandma made it. Like, it's like a legit, like, handmade by a Norwegian sweater. It's freaking awesome.
Nice. Christmas sweater.
Christmas. You're having a hard time. How much of that wine have you had?
Not enough. How do I ask this question from Google? Like, I'm gonna see it and I'm gonna get real pissed that I couldn't remember it because I can, like, almost say it. Fair Isle. Ugh.
What is it?
Fair Isle.
Sounds like Argyle, but...
Yeah, I know. That was the word that I was looking for.
Okay.
Now, what were we talking
glad
about?
we found that out.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Something about a Fair Isle sweater. Is your Norwegian sweater Fair Isle?
It doesn't have flowers, but...
Does it have stripes and things?
Yeah.
This sounds adorable. I want to see it.
It's way cute, but it's warm as crap. I tried to wear it to Christmas dinner once, and I was like,
oh,
dying.
Yeah.
Because it's like real wool.
You know where you should wear it is to the Christmas preview.
That already happened.
What?
That was last night.
I missed the Christmas preview? Are you telling me I missed the Christmas preview?
Yeah, where were you?
Oh my god.
You missed Christmas preview.
Because where I grew up, it was the weekend after Thanksgiving. Is it the weekend before Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I'm so upset right now. I can't even.
Yeah, it was last night. The Christmas preview is this cool thing that our like little downtown area does, where all the stores like open up and do little Christmassy things. There's like people dancing in windows, and Santa's there, and
Son of a bitch!
my mom went. I was gonna go, but Blake's family had Thanksgiving last night, so
What?
well,
Are they Canadian?
no, they're trying to share the wealth between different parts of the family, you know. So
It's true. When as you get older, it's hard to make it all fit and work.
yeah,
That's
which
cool.
I think his parents are still having Thanksgiving with his other grandparents
Gotcha.
on Thursday, but this Gma was yesterday, and I mean, I think it was. I thought it was supposed to be Thanksgiving dinner, but it was fried chicken,
Sweet
which is great.
mac and cheese.
No, fried chicken, green beans, and potatoes, mashed potatoes.
Or as the boys like to call them, smashed potatoes.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes. So apparently Fair Isle is a traditional knitting technique used to create patterns with multiple colors. It is named after Fair Isle, a tiny island north of Scotland that forms part of the Shetland Islands. I wonder if that's where the ponies come from. I bet it is.
Could be.
You're like, I don't care, and also I don't care.
All this Christmas trivia is just driving me nuts.
I can't take anymore.
I'm so bah humbug. You want to know what else I decided this year? So my family does kind of the same thing yours do, where everybody draws a name. We still have a real low budget. It's like $25.
Tattoos. Christmas family tattoos.
I don't think my family would be that into that. But I've decided, because I don't even really want to do it. And so instead of just bailing all together like a real Grinch, I just decided that Blake and I are going to be one name. So
you get one joint present and you give one joint present.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we could like ask for something for the kitchen or something, you know?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay, guys, I successfully
Open the glitter.
opened the glitter. Yeah.
I will turn you, Jessye. I have turned many a person
I doubt it.
from being a Scrooge into being Buddy the freaking elf.
Okay.
You're my next project.
Okay, that actually turned out real cute.
That's adorable. Like, that's ridiculously adorable. I love it.
Look at that little reindeer. It's Rudolph.
It's so cute. That's okay.
That's okay.
You have way more talent. You have all the talents.
I have all the talents.
And now we will take over the world with our mediocre craft talents.
Well, that was another thing that Michael's asked me, like, how good are you at this? Like, between, like, beginner and expert. And I was like,
Lord. I'm a freaking expert. I'm a professional, Michaels. I mean, watch out, Martha Stewart.
Right. I've been thinking so much about, like, you know, because everybody's like, are you trying to make money on this podcast? And I'm like, no. Like,
We're trying to be moderately entertaining.
just trying to have a good
And achieve
time.
mediocre notoriety.
Right. We're not thinking about, like, quitting our day job. Even if I just get, like, a couple free craft supplies, like...
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
I would be super stoked. Or free wine.
That would be amazing.
Right?
We should talk more about the wine we're drinking.
Should we?
If we... Should we? But... well...
Oh, I was going to ask you, how do you feel about sour beers?
Oh, like tart beers.
Yeah, like sours are, it's like the thing right now. I had a whole bunch of them on Saturday.
Where were you?
The Handlebar.
I haven't been to the Handlebar in so long. Have you had their Reuben?
No,
Oh,
I had chili there once and I didn't like it.
Now, screw the chili. Get a Reuben. It's the most glorious thing ever.
What is it?
Pastrami on
See,
sauerkraut on rye.
Ooh, sauerkraut.
These are all the best things about being German.
I'm not German, so
You're not even a little bit?
actually I could be. I mean, I'm like the most mutt that you could be.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And so when people ask like where I'm from, which seems silly to me because I'm like, my family's been in America for so long. Like,
Yeah, no, when people ask where I'm from, I say America.
Yeah. But
without the A.
when they really want to know my
Right.
ethnicity or whatever,
Right.
I'm like, I'm pretty much just from every white country in the world.
If you have whiteys, my family has been there.
Somebody in my family hailed from that place.
And you have to use the word hail. I had a patient a couple weeks ago ask me, how did he phrase it? It was really funny. He was just like, I think he said, are your ancestors? I'm not sure. Something about like, oh, you're of German descent. And
He like knew?
I looked at him and I was like, how could you tell? I mean, I've got the blue eyes and blonde hair, right? So it's like, I've got like, my family's from Germany. I'm a mutt too, but on my mom's side, like directly from Germany and Norway. So like, I know I have those, you know?
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, how could you tell, you know? And then he was like, actually, I'm a linguist and I study languages from all over the world. And the way you said, I don't remember what I said, like, just like, yeah, I think. I was like, yeah.
You just really nailed you.
And he was like, oh, so yeah, I guess it was just my little bit of like North Dakotian coming out from that side of the family. And then there was, you know, a lot of like Norwegian and German settlers in that area. And so he just like picked up on how I said one word and was like, oh, so your family's whatever, which I thought was super cool.
That is cool.
And was intriguing because I listened to this one podcast where they have a linguist on there all the time, and he is like a analyst for the FBI, and he does all this stuff. He can like choose, you know, listen to a bit of speech or look at a letter and then decide how old a person is, what gender they are,
Wow.
like, it's crazy. It's so interesting. So I was like, oh, you have the most glamorous job ever. But of course, it was probably super boring.
There was one time, I was wearing this sweatshirt actually in college, and I was down in LA, right? And I was
This sweatshirt is a Sierra Nevada filtered wheat beer sweatshirt?
Yes.
Yes.
And I was at Target, and I was checking out, and the guy was like, I don't remember what I was saying, but I have a pretty lazy accent, so sometimes my words just come out real strange.
Yeah.
And I said something, and he was like, where are you from? You know, and I was like, Northern California, you know, and he's like,
a nondescript area that has no definite dialect.
definitely not different than LA.
Right.
And he's like, well, you sound like you're from, like, down south or something. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, like from Wisconsin. And I was like, oh.
So he was Canadian.
Good Lord.
Or was he Canadian?
No.
Because Wisconsin is.
He doesn't know his American geography was really the issue.
Okay, you know me. When it comes to geography trivia, I straight up tap out. I just know. That's not my thing.
But you know Wisconsin.
I know Wisconsin is not in the South. That's so sad.
Oh my gosh. I was just like, no. And he's like,
was he super cute?
No. He's like, well, but your sweatshirt, isn't that from like the South? And I'm like, no, it's from Chico.
Where were you?
LA.
Okay.
The San Fernando Valley, porn capital of the world. So maybe that's where he. Well, no, he's working at Target, so he couldn't have been a porn star.
Oh, and once again, I thought you said the corn capital.
Yeah,
not the porn capital. And I was like, I thought there was a lot of corn, like, in Iowa or something. Like, Midwest, not... Yeah. So, no, I get that all the time, too. I have random people be like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, here? Like, I grew up in Chester. I'm from, Northern California. And they'll tell me that I have, like, a twang to my accent or something, which occasionally I will do. It's, like, I don't mean to do it or anything, but I think there's just certain words I grew up hearing certain ways,
Yeah.
And so it comes out every once in a while. But, because I grew up in the mountains. We're a bunch of hicks.
Right.
Whatever. But, yeah, it's pretty funny when people are, oh, where did you grow up? And I'm like, here.
Yeah. Like I said, I just feel like my accent is so lacy. And so we were sitting next to this guy on the plane on the way back from Italy, and he had like a southern accent. And, he was like talking to us because it was the World Series game we were watching on the plane.
Yeah.
So he was talking to us about that, and that was fun. But I had to like sit there and consciously like try to not mimic his accent because I didn't want him to think I was being rude, but I just like...
I do that. I pick up on whoever I'm around.
Oh, it's awful.
And I don't mean to. And then, I feel like they are going to think that I'm like somehow mocking them. Or... Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm just an idiot. Please ignore me.
You're rubbing off on me, sir.
I'm like, I just want to be just like you. I think it is. It's just, like, way, I don't know, of, like, making a person feel at home, you know? Like, I don't ever try to do it consciously, but it's, like, a way of myself I'm like, oh, like, I want you to feel like you fit in, and so I just do it. I don't know. I go back to North Dakota for, like, a couple days, and it's on. I come back... It's ridiculous. Last time I went back, I came back and I was, just talking, and Adam's just looking at me like, who are you? Because I sound completely like them. It's so funny.
What did you do with my girlfriend?
What? I'm going to use that all the time now and be like, God, what did you say? We're so naughty.
That's us. I was seriously so glad that my pumpkin that I wrote thankful on and put too many L's on came off so well with the fingernail polish remover.
I know all the tricks. It's being a mom. As soon as you have kids, you instantly discover all the way to remove things from other things. Like, remove things off of surfaces. Because you're like, oh, you're going to draw on things with that? Great.
Yeah, well, like, I always feel like moms just have this weird knowledge that just nobody else has that just comes with a baby being in your belly.
No.
And sometimes...
It's from hideous experiences.
Well, sometimes I'll call my mom and I'll be like, how do you do this? And she'll be like, I don't know. And I'm like,
wait, what?
What is your problem? Like, what kind of mom are you? And she's like, I just don't know that, Jessye.
Aww.
I'm like, oh. Well, you want to know what actually... Okay, I feel like I'm complaining a lot about Michael's today.
Let's bitch about Michael's, then ask them to send us free stuff.
They're never going to send me free craft supplies.
Because in our first episode, I'm pretty sure we called out the people at Joann's at the cut counter for not knowing shit.
Oh, yeah, we did. We're going to make way too many enemies. But, so they've got sales all over the place, right?
Right.
And there's a whole...
Do you know why, Jessye?
Because Thanksgiving is coming.
Because it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Tab's face at that moment was a little possessed.
Sheer joy.
So they had a whole end cap with these Sharpie paint pens, right? With a big fat sign that says all Sharpie pens half off. Right?
Right. And that's a Sharpie pen.
Yeah. I get to the counter and they ring up full price. And I was like, oh, I thought those were half off.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, no, it's just like the regular Sharpies. And I was like, well, but there was a whole...
But it said all.
Yeah, there's a whole end cap of just these paint pens with a 50% off sign. And she was like, oh, no, somebody put that there wrong. I'm like...
So then you honor it.
Right.
Because it was put there wrong.
I said it like 3 different times and she was not having it, so I was like, whatever.
That's lame.
I'm gonna stop arguing with you.
Yeah. Michaels, you can make this right.
Send me 2 free Sharpie pens because I bought... Oh, wait. Would that be 2 free ones? No, it'd just be 1 free one.
Oh, because 50% off?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about the rude lady? We need one in black also.
I feel like my eyeliner is all over my face.
Oh, today's wing eyeliner is tomorrow's smoky eye. Fashion tips, beauty advice from Tab and Jessye. We need a sign off. Drink up, ladies. You have craft to do.
That's cutting our audience in half.
Okay, just drink up. You have craft to do.
Drink up, man, woman, or transgender. We have crap to do.
LBGT. There's more now.
Q+.
There we go. LBGTQ.
Anybody who wants to listen, male, female, or in between, drink up!
I wasn't ready for that.
Oh.
Well, our glasses are empty.
Drink up! Oh.
Well, our glasses are empty.
Drink up! Well, our glasses are empty. We can't cheers with
their
an empty glass. Okay.
Okay, start over.
3, 2, 1. What was I saying? Okay, 3, 2.
The stage right.
Well, our glasses are empty.
So I guess that's it.
Drink up.
You have craft to do.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye.